Imagine a chunk of ice so massive it's larger than entire cities, drifting silently across the ocean for decades. Now, picture it slowly disappearing, piece by piece, into the warming embrace of the sea. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie. It's the real-life story of A23a, the world's largest iceberg, which is finally nearing its end after a 40-year journey. But here's where it gets controversial. While this event is natural, it's also a stark reminder of how rapidly our planet is changing due to the climate crisis. A23a's story began in 1986 when it calved from Antarctica's Filchner ice shelf. For over 3 decades, it remained grounded in the Weddell Sea, a frozen giant stuck on the seabed. But in 2020, it broke free and began its slow march toward warmer waters, carried by ocean currents into the South Atlantic, a region ominously dubbed Iceberg Alley, where many of Antarctica's icy behemoths meet their fate. Earlier this year, A23a still spanned nearly 3,100 square kilometers, dwarfing Long Island and outsizing London by more than double. It was a titan of the seas, a floating monument to the power of nature. And this is the part most people miss. As A23a drifted northward, it wasn't just a passive traveler. It briefly ran aground near South Georgia Island, sparking fears it might block access for millions of penguins and seals returning to feed their young. Thankfully, it dislodged in May, but its meltwater continued to flow into the surrounding seas, releasing nutrients that can both nourish marine life and disrupt ecosystems. Scientists note that while these giant icebergs can sometimes stimulate ocean productivity, they also pose risks to wildlife and shipping, as countless smaller but still dangerous fragments now litter the waters. In recent months, A23a's decline has accelerated dramatically. Satellite images from the EU's Copernicus program reveal it's now less than half its original size, shrinking to about 1,770 square kilometers. Enormous chunks have splintered off, including one fragment spanning 400 square kilometers, itself a colossal iceberg. Andrew Myers, a physical oceanographer at the British Antarctic Survey, describes the breakup as fairly dramatic, a vivid reminder of the forces at play. Here's the bold truth. Iceberg calving is a natural part of Antarctica's cycle, but the pace at which these massive bergs are breaking off is accelerating. Antarctica is warming faster than the global average, driven by the climate crisis. And A23a's fate is a symptom of this larger trend. Once it left the colder Antarctic waters, its dissolution was inevitable. Exposed to warmer seas and battered by waves, it began to dissolve at an alarming speed. Now, A23a has drifted into the same graveyard waters where other giants, like A60a, met their end. Despite its size and decades-long journey, its story was always bound to conclude here. But as we watch this icy titan fade away, it leaves us with a critical question. What does the disappearance of such monumental icebergs tell us about the future of our planet? Is this a natural cycle or a warning sign we can't afford to ignore? Let's discuss. What's your take?